temptation is designed first to grab your attention. It gets your attention. You're just swimming along through life, and all of a sudden, whoo, there's a jig in front of me. And it gets your attention. Now, right there, you haven't really sinned. It's not that big of a deal if it got my attention. But then, where we start going wrong is after it gets our attention, it stirs our affections. We watch it and we start saying, ooh, I want that. Or, ooh, I'm mad at that. Or whatever that temptation is. And eventually, as James says, our stirring of affections creates in us our own desire for something other than what God has told us, other than what God has given us. And it says if we go on in the verse, when our desire combines with our own will to go out there, something is born, something is conceived, and it's sin. And sin is born. And sin goes on. Now, you may get away with it once, right? Oh, yeah, I looked at porn and nobody noticed. You might get away with it once. But eventually, that hook sinks in and it drags you away to death. One more thing about temptation, we'll talk about a few more types, is it's individually designed. If you think about lures, okay, all of these lures are designed for different types of fish at even different stages of their life or different weather patterns. And so something that tempts you may not tempt me. And something that tempts me may not tempt you. But we all have something that tempts us. For example, personally, alcohol is not a temptation for me. And it helps that nearly all alcohol that I've tasted, I think is nasty. And so people talk, wine. I'm not trying to down wine, but my wife, she'll say, hey, well, we're drinking dinner. Have a drink. I can't take a drink of wine without going, okay? And people say, oh, it's an acquired taste. Well, if something makes me go, I'm not going to keep drinking this until I go, That's not a temptation for me. That's an easy one. But there are things in my life. There are things in my life that catch my attention and that stir my affection, and that eventually my own desire overcomes what I know God's word to say, and sin is born. And so temptation is individually tailored to us because it starts from our own desires. And so it's specific to each one of us.